Detroit Pistons are the league's most surprising team, and nobody is talking about them. They are currently looking like an actual dark horse threat to upset at least somebody in the Eastern Conference, and I believe this team is one of the brightest futures in the NBA all of a sudden. As it stands at the making of this video, the Detroit Pistons just beat the Atlanta Hawks. They do play the Los Angeles Clippers tonight, and so we will be able to see if they go on to win yet another game. But the Detroit Pistons have been one of the hottest teams in the entire league. They have been on a tear, and pretty quietly, people haven't been talking about them. You've been seeing a lot more people talking about Cade Cunningham, who is having an amazing season. But not a lot of people are talking about just how good the Pistons have been as a team. Stands, the Detroit Pistons are currently 6th in the Eastern Conference, and they have a legitimate chance at getting to potentially up to the 4th seed. They're not that far behind, potentially having home court in the first round. Not only that, they have won 6 consecutive games as of the making of this video, and they're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're one of the hottest teams in the entire Eastern Conference. And people aren't talking about the fact that the Pistons, who were the worst team in the league last year, all of a sudden look like they're about to make the playoffs and could eventually outright miss the play-in and just be clinched for the playoffs entirely. That is incredibly impressive. I think that coaching staff deserves a lot of credit for how they instilled an actual culture there. Cade taking that all-star leap was huge. Jaden Ivey was finally finding his role and being utilized before he went down with injury. Hopefully he can come back next season and get back to where he was, because he was the second leading scorer on this Pistons team. We do need to talk about Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is the best player on the team, and he is now fulfilling his #1 pick aspirations as he is looking like a superstar. This could be a potential MVP candidate, dark horse candidate, and I believe he deserves to be at least in that top 7-ish conversation for the MVP. I don't think he is the MVP, but we can't ignore the numbers. He's averaging 25 points and 9 assists per game. He's also averaging over 6 boards. He's almost averaging a double-double on the year. He has been fantastic for the Pistons. And honestly, I can't say I didn't expect it. I always thought he would end up breaking out, but it was more so, are the Pistons going to do enough to put a team around him that he can actually compete with? Because when he does break out, he needs to have a team that's going to be competitive. Unfortunately, again, like I said, Jaden Ivey went down with injury. Jaden Ivey was averaging 17 points, and he was looking great this season. He was finally looking like that player that the Pistons were looking for, a really good backcourt partner for Cade Cunningham. And then Malik Beasley, who's been extremely shocking for the Detroit Pistons. He's averaging 16 points per game this season. That is absolutely insane. With Jaden Ivey going down, that makes him the team's 2nd leading scorer. He's shooting 44% from the field on the year, and he's shooting over 42% from 3. He's having an incredible season, and I don't think anybody expected Malik Beasley to end up on the Pistons averaging nearly 17 a game. That is a big thing. Jalen Duren is averaging 10 boards, and Asar Thompson leads the team in steals with 1.7 steals. This team has young talent. They're finally starting to mesh together and figuring out an identity for this team. And honestly, while I don't know if the Pistons will win a playoff series, the fact of the matter is you're not going to look forward to playing them because they're going to give you everything they've got. Cade is a lot to deal with because he can beat you in multiple ways. And honestly, this Pistons team looks just very fun to watch. They've been one of the more entertaining teams in the league, and I really wish this team would get some more love. So for me personally, my prediction for the Detroit Pistons, and obviously I'm not going to go in depth because I am going to make a predictions video later down the line. I believe, depending on the Pistons and who they play, right now, if the playoffs started right now, they'd play the New York Knicks. I do think they'd lose that series. Unfortunately, I do think the Knicks would probably beat them in about 5, maybe 6 games. But if they played the Pacers or if they played the Bucks, I don't know how confident I'd be in those teams to just outright flatten beat Pistons. I don't think they would do that. I think it would be a very good series. So depending on who they play, Detroit could get to the 2nd round. I think they have it in them. But I don't know. What do you guys think about the Detroit Pistons? How do you guys think they would fare in the postseason? Because it's looking like they're going to end up being in the playoffs. Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.